Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra and today I am going to share with you the long list of popular books I have not read yet. As I was saying, I have a long, rather never-ending list of popular books I have not read yet. Cue the long list of books.
There's too many books and there's not enough time.
Some might say that I have a problem with buying too many books and then a problem with never reading them. But in my defense, my girl math says that books will get more and more expensive as time passes, so the sooner you buy them, the cheaper they will be. I think some of these I even have since like 2015 or something. They have yellow pages, but have they been read? No. Okay, without any further ado, I will start strong. The first popular book I have not read yet is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I have the entire series, I kid you not. I bought all of them at once a few years back and haven't gotten around to reading them. I don't know why. This book is a YA fantasy about an assassin who goes to the royal court to win her freedom, and in order to do that, she has to defeat 23 contestants or something like that. But all of a sudden, the contestants start dying one by one, and her fight for freedom becomes fight for survival. I have two main reasons why I am really scared to get into these books, and one being that it's a really long series, extremely long. I don't think I've read a series this long ever in my life, but I guess I should start soon. And two, a lot of people love this series, and I do not know if I will too. The premise sounds amazing. This has been published in 2012, so it's like half my age. I know maybe a lot of tropes are going to sound a little outdated because it was, again, published in 2012. I have a hunch that maybe I will enjoy this series. Some people say that this one is better than the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I've read that series, but only the first 3 books. I read it back when it was supposed to be a trilogy, and I liked it, but I can't say it's one of my favorites, so this is why I am a little bit afraid that this will not meet my expectations. The next popular book I haven't got around to reading yet is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have heard nothing but great things about this book. In fact, I don't think I've heard one person say that they didn't like this one, so this makes me really excited. This is a historical fiction book about Achilles, who is strong and independent and forms a close bond to Patroclus, an exiled prince, and one day they hear word that Helen of Sparta was kidnapped, and as a lot of Greek heroes join the cause to attack Troy, Achilles has to join in search of a glorious destiny, and Patroclus follows him. And soon enough, they get thrown into a series of tests by the fates. I've heard this book is supposed to make me cry, and I do believe that. But as long as I don't read this, nothing bad happens to the characters, right? Right? I don't know. At least I am going to say that. Okay, don't get carried away. We have a lot of books to discuss. The next popular novel I have not read yet is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is an adult fiction about Daisy, a singer who is starting to have more and more success in the late 60s or so. And on the other side, we have The Six, a band who is preparing to go on their first tour. But a producer realizes that their success would be much greater if they were combined, so he forms Daisy Jones and the Six, and this book follows their lives and why and how the band split at the height of their popularity. Even though I have not read this yet, I have read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I absolutely loved this book. The way in which she creates these characters, because Evelyn is not real, and I assume Daisy and the Six are also not real. Maybe they are inspired from artists from real life, but I love the way in which she explores their lives and the power of media on their lives, especially in this one. So I can't wait to read this one. The next popular book that I have not read yet is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And this one sounds so sad too. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. This is a YA romance about a world where you get notified on your last day that you are going to die. And our main characters are Mateo and Rufus. They meet each other through an app called Last Friend because they are both going to die. And they get together for their final adventure. Again, this one sounds so sad, so sad, but at the same time, so interesting. So of course, I am going to read it hopefully soon. Then another popular book I have not read yet is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. In my defense, I do not own this book yet, so that's my excuse as to why I haven't read it yet. We are going to assume that if I had purchased it, I would have read it, and we're going to leave it at that. I am just going to assume that. This one is a YA romantasy, and it also has the trope of enemies to lovers, or from what I've heard, rivals to lovers. It is about a world where gods are at war, and this affects people's lives, and it revolves around two main characters, two rival journalists who communicate with each other through some magical letters that reach each other mysteriously, but in time, as they compete in their careers, the rivalry between them becomes more and more blurry. Another popular book I have not read yet is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig, and this is another book I have heard nothing but great things about. Everyone and their mother is loving this one, and I have not read it yet. I mean, kind of the point of this whole video, but I feel bad about it. This is a gothic fantasy, and it follows a young woman who lives in a world where magic is connected to a deck of cards. This sounds so good so far. Each card has their own magic power, but unfortunately, magic does not come without a price, and soon enough, she gets infected by this dark magic, and a monster emerges in her head, a monster she calls Nightmare. She meets a mysterious man who turns out to be the king's nephew, and together they set out to cure the kingdom from the dark magic. However, slowly but surely, Nightmare starts to have more and more power over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. Oh my god, let me read the dedication. Like, oh my god. To the quiet girls with stories in their minds, to their dreams and their nightmares. This book is so lucky I am filming a video right now. I might as well just drop everything and start reading it. Then, to my shame, another book that I have not read yet is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This is a YA fantasy set in a world where there are 4 versions of London. There is Red London, Black London, Grey London, and White London. And it follows Kel, who is one of the last people able to navigate through these 4 Londons. Officially, he's an ambassador for the Empire, but unofficially, he's a smuggler, helping people see glimpses from worlds they will otherwise never be able to see. And when a dangerous artifact falls into the wrong hands, he meets Delilah, a thief with whom he must navigate these Londons in hopes to save them. Another book by V. Schwab that I have not read yet is Vicious. I know, you can come for me if you want. I will allow it. This is an adult paranormal fantasy about 2 former college roommates, Victor and Eli, who in their final year of college have researched the emergence of extraordinary abilities in people who had had near-death experiences. But somehow their experiments went terribly wrong.
Is wrong.
And 10 years later, Victor escapes from prison and starts to look for Eli, now his enemy, in order to get his revenge. Next, I also haven't read The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, which, again, I do do not own, so yay me! I couldn't have read it even if I wanted to. Please act like you believe me. This is an adult fantasy story inspired by Chinese history about a young woman who enrolls into an elite military academy. There she discovers not only her potential, but also a hidden world of gods and ancient magic. And what I've heard about this one is that it's not only focused on romance, it's brutal and it's gut-wrenching. Sounds like something I would enjoy. This is a dark academia novel that explores colonialism and the power of languages, and it's set in an alternate world in the 19th century where translation is magical and words are used to fuel the British Empire. It follows Robin, a young Chinese boy raised in Britain, as he enrolls in the prestigious Institute of Translations, aka Babel. There he finds out that knowledge obeys power, and serving Babel might mean betraying his motherland. Oh my god, this sounds amazing. What have I been doing with my life so far? Why haven't I read these books sooner? I don't know. And we are down to the last 3. Long list indeed. Another dark academia novel that I have not read yet is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is about a secret elite society of magical scholars called the Alexandrian Society. And each decade, 6 of the most talented magicians are chosen to compete for entry. But after a year filled with trials, only 5 will be chosen. I am not even going to say anything anymore. As I said, you can come for me for not reading any of these books. I am to blame. I am totally to blame here. The second to last book on this list is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. Oh my god, this is so cute. Can I focus on it? Can I? I don't know if I can, but yeah. It's a little something. It looks like a little badger or something. It's so cute. Thank God I can say that I read The Cruel Prince. At least I've read that book. I mean, I've read a lot of popular books. I'm just being dramatic. That's what I do. The light is starting to go because the sun is leaving me. I don't know why. We had a deal. He will hang on a little longer, but I guess he can't wait anymore. This takes place 8 years after the events of the Queen of Nothing, and it follows Oak, who is 17 now, and he's looking for the runaway queen Suren, who had been promised to him, but unfortunately, from what I gathered, he hates his guts. Sounds great so far. I hope that besides Oak and Suren, we are going to get a little bit of Carden and Jude, maybe? I don't know, hoping. I mean, you can not spoil it to me. You can tell me if we have some Jude and Carden appearances in this book, but don't spoil it. Please, no spoilers. The final popular book that I have not read yet is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is a YA fantasy, and it is also a reimagined version of the Legend of King Arthur. It follows Bree as she enrolls into an early college program after her mother's death, and there she discovers a hidden society called the Legendborn, who are descendants of King Arthur's knights and who protect the world from the supernatural. As she digs deeper, she finds out that there might be more to her mother's death than meets the eye, and that somehow she might be linked to this secret society. And that is all. These are the books. Please let me know in the comments which book I should start with, because there's a lot. Let me know if you've read any of them and which one you loved the most, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye! And that is all. Those are the books. Please let me down. Don't let me down. Oh my god.